What up guys, KCRC Rock Bouncer here, making a quick video, the new build, I'm making panels for it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm still going to make a short video on it. What I did to make my panels, I'm using 025 aluminum. Now, just take some simple measurements. First off, I started out with some thick paper, thin cardboard, whatever you want to call it. And just, you can get as big as you want. I could have made a panel from here all the way to the back here, but I decided that I only wanted a panel from here because I don't want to close off all the back end. I don't want to add too much weight and sacrifice some performance. So anyways, take a couple measurements and then work them out on the paper, and slowly but surely you'll get yourself a template like I did here. And then after that you'll work your template onto your 025 aluminum, and then you'll go from there. Now these screws, I could take them out and put them on here. The reason I don't have them mounted is I'm actually going to paint these before I finish up. There's two panels. I'll probably make one for the top. I don't know if I'll use it though, just because I don't know if, I know it's not much weight, but it's still, it adds up, I don't know, we'll see. Right now I've been working on the somewhat difficult one, which is the hood, and I'm actually in the process of cutting it out. But yeah, like I said, I took some measurements. I marked it all out on when I had the big piece of cardboard, obviously, before I cut it out. But just for example, I started off at one corner of the paper, measured from here to here, saw what that measurement was, figured out what my measurement from here to here was, figure out what the overall distance is, and you just put little hatch marks so you can draw straight lines and cross lines and whatnot, and then you end up basically connecting the dots. Now, since this chassis has a little bend in it right here on the hood, I had to consider that into how I cut this, which this is actually, yeah, that's the center point where the bend is, and then it goes down to here. So after a little tweaking with it, you can see that it's going to sit right like that and sit down. So should look pretty good. Close everything up, get the battery protected. I guess I'm just gonna have to take 3 screws out and take the hood off every time I want to replace the battery. So not a big, or 6 screws, not a big deal. They're all really short. I actually went to the store today and bought them all. They're all perfect size for this, so I think it's only like 4 or 5 turns to get them sunk down all the way. So yeah, gotta finish that panel, and then probably do a roof panel, and then I'm gonna paint them and put them on, and should look pretty good. I changed up the suspension on the rear. Actually, I've ran this vehicle twice now. The first day I actually changed the vehicle up twice. This is the 3rd change in the rear end as far as the suspension setup. The first day I had these trailing arms and these upper links, but I had 90mm shocks that went from this front hole to the axle. So I have a 12 and 5/8 inch wheelbase right here right now. Then I took some links that I have right here and I 4-linked it, which took the wheelbase down to, what was it, 12 and 3/8 inch, which was pretty good. The shock stayed in the same position. That didn't change at all, and I felt like I lost a lot of performance, honestly, by shortening it. I don't know about with crawling, but as far as getting on hills and doing what I usually do with a vehicle like this, I think I lost performance. So I went back to the same length. Now the 3rd change is I put 110mm shocks on the rear, but I actually mounted them to the trailing arms this time, and then I put 90mm limiter straps on there, so I don't get the full droop out of it, but I get quite a bit of compression. So the only thing I got to work on now is fabbing up some tabs so I can run a sway bar in the rear, but we'll see how it goes. If I don't get to run the sway bar in the rear, I'll probably just go back to the shocks being back on the axle to the original setup, because honestly it did pretty good. So anyways guys, hopefully that helped you out on the body panels, and good luck if you decide to do your own. If you got any questions, set them up in the comments. Later guys, take it easy.